Minister.
Pleasure to meet you. How do you do?
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Also,
Briefly introduce myself as I'm only...
Oliver Drews is my spokesperson, and I have also Monique Pariak, who is director in our services. She is responsible for the Mediterranean.
Chief negotiator, and Mr. Ivanović is ambassador to Belgium and EU. To EU.
So you are...
Only EU. CEO of Agriculture and Rural Development. But briefly introduce myself as I'm only...
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet Minister Ivanović for the first time. I think that Montenegro's agricultural sector is in very good hands under his ministry. We've discussed together the steps that Montenegro has to take now in the area of agriculture in particular to join the European Union. I explained it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a complicated process of accession, but I'm sure that the Minister is pushing very hard to carry out the changes in Montenegro necessary. It's about management change in the government, it's about introducing new regulations to make the Montenegro's agriculture more similar to the Common Agricultural Policy, and it's about economic restructuring. I'm helping farmers to become more productive, upgrade and move into higher value and be better organised, and that really is the key thing of all. And I offered to the Minister that the Commission will bring a team to Montenegro in the months ahead to meet all of the stakeholders in the agricultural sector, the administration, the farmers, the retailers, all of the different steps in the agricultural production chain, to discuss together how we can best help Montenegro and its farming community to modernise, restructure and be competitive in the broader European economy. That will be a major boost to joining the EU in a few years' time.
Let me tell you that accession negotiations with Montenegro are now proceeding very well. We have now analyzed 16 chapters, 16 areas of policy, and which is about half of the screening that we have to do. So that means that we are proceeding at a very good speed. Now today we have been talking about 3 particular chapters which have already, 2 of them have already gone through the screening process, is agriculture and food safety. And the third one, it was fisheries, where we are about to start the screening. Let me tell you that in the first 2, agriculture and food safety, these are very, very difficult chapters, ones that usually negotiations tend to last most. And this is because of 2 facts. They have a lot of legislative and technical amendments, adjustments to make to your legislation. You also have to reform the way agriculture takes place, and you have to set up a lot of administrative structures in order then to implement the agricultural and rural funds. So this makes agriculture one of the most difficult chapters. On top of that, do not forget that agriculture is about 8.3% of the GDP of the country, and you have about 50,000 families, 50,000 families in the country working on in agricultural areas. So as you see, this is a challenging chapter for you. So it's food safety, because the EU legislation, the EU acquis in food safety is enormous, and you will have to take it all to finish before you finish the negotiations. So it means a big capacity effort from the part of the administration and a big effort to take on all that's key to producers, because producers will have to implement it, and so will have to the processors of food. So another chapter that will implicate the whole of society. Fisheries is in the same line. It's also a community prerogative, a community policy, and has a lot of impact. Now, in fisheries, it says you don't have to adopt the legislation because EU legislation applies directly, but it doesn't matter. It is still, you have to prepare many plans in order to be ready to participate in the common fisheries policy of the EU. So all in all, we today have been talking about 3 chapters that will be, based on previous experience, some of the most difficult chapters to close and to go through negotiations.
Sa komesarom Evropske unije za oblast ribarstva, gospođom Damanaki, razgovarao sam o predstojećem skriningu. Kao što vam je poznato, za razliku od prethodna dva poglavlja, oblast poljoprivrede i oblast bezbjednosti hrane, gdje smo završili skrining i dobili dosta dobre ocjene u ovoj fazi, sada nam predstoji priprema za treću oblast koja potpada pod poljoprivredu, nakon koje ćemo biti u mogućnosti da sasvim dobro i kvalitetno razumijemo koji su problemi sa kojima se trebamo baviti narednih mjeseci. Ovo je bila fina prilika da upoznam gospođu Damanaki sa situacijom u oblasti ribarstva u Crnoj Gori i da prenesem ono što, čini mi se, postoji kao generalno razumijevanje u Europskoj uniji, a to je da je naša flota mala, zastarela, ali da postoji isto tako i problemi koje crnogorski ribari dijele sa svojim kolegama iz Europe. Nastojat ćemo da nakon skrininga napravimo jedan dobar akcioni plan koji će sadržavati kako putokaz rješavanja pojedinih problema, tako i dinamiku njihovog rješavanja, a onda kada sva tri skrininga, odnosno sve tri oblasti uvežemo u jedno, da stvaramo dobru osnovu za početak pregovora.